And we are live right now. Hey, Patty, how are you? We are live. Let me mute that. There we go. Duh. Still learning this. Well, it's been a few weeks. How are you, Patty? What's the weather like up there right now? If you watch the news, we are blazing hot down here in California. It is miserable. It's hotter than Satan's butt. Oh man, I've been working on the house trying to get this thing ready to sell. So doing good, huh? I've been eyeballing your gardening and stuff and your videos here and there, and I've been trying to just at least stop in on people's videos and make a comment or say hi. Hey, Jerry, what's up, brother? Amy Broussard's in the house. So how the heck, gosh, Jeremy, your weather up there looked fantastic. I won't even ask Amy how the weather is down there. Well, I did talk to Brett this week, and the weather down here up right now, because we had that hurricane that came out of Mexico, and the humidity here for the last week we've been in the upper 90s to low 100s, and with like 80-90% humidity, which is Louisiana weather. So I'm preaching to the choir when it comes to weather with the Broussards, because they're used to that. It gets so bad down there, Brett, so they don't even go outside. So yes, I did, Patty. I did. I watched that. You know what? And that's what's happening in America. I wonder what's happening with the Antifa versus the Patriots, and I know there were some guys, some Proud Boys that one guy got arrested and stuff, and it's getting out of hand. That's what's going to happen. Is you're going to start seeing people are so angry and so mad and getting sick and tired of this with these liberal mayors and these idiot governors. People are rebelling all over the place. Anybody watch the Sturgis rally with that big, tall, goofy Antifa guy with the pink hair? And he kind of playfully kicked a Harley as it went by, and the crowd about mad rushed him. They were surrounded by cops. I don't know if anybody saw that little video clip, but the cops were there to protect the Antifa people from all the Harley people. Right? It was fantastic. And then the guy did a little kick as a Harley went by, and the cops took him down and arrested him. And then everybody was cheering and going, yeah! And they ran those Antifa little puke soy people out of, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Mid 80s, that's what I'm talking about. That is beautiful weather, Jeremy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you get up there. Yeah, it is. It's been horrible down here, and we're going to be in the low to mid 90s all week, and it's almost the same humidity. This high pressure system that we've had, it's just been slowly moving across over into Arizona, and so all of that moist hurricane weather is coming up, and it's slowly turning, and it just keeps pumping that moisture right across the state and into Arizona. It's been horrible. What's up, Joey? How you doing, brother? So Joey, if you guys know Burning Hearth Homestead, he was the one. Hey, Jeremy. Well, Jeremy already knows who he is. That's his other homestead rescue buddy. And Joey has that gas well on his property, so he has unlimited energy for the rest of his life. And there is I don't know, anybody who knows, I'm not going to say who it is, who also has a piece of property with a gas well. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Jeremy, you can't say anything. All right. Well, I know I'm not supposed to say anything because they said it in their last video. So anybody know who I'm talking about? Anyway, little fun bit of trivia there. Holy cow, is this a mod stream? What are you talking about, mod stream? There was a guy with a pistol who fired it off. Oh man, no one shot. Well, I'm glad that no good guys got shot. Too bad no bad guys got shot. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, totally. Oh, Darlene. Hi, Darlene. Thank you for coming in. I know. That's right. You're in a bit. That's right. You guys have direct. They just upgraded that one hurricane to massive hurricane. They're saying that the storm surge is going to be possibly devastating. So, everybody out there that's a praying person, pray for the Broussards and everybody down in our south coast states. They're getting ready. You guys battening down the hatches down there, Amy? Jeremy says hi, Olivia. She sees you in the distance.
Hi.
There she is. She's Joey. Joey, you just settle down here. We just started. Just chill out for a minute, Dozer man. Oh, so that's funny that Michael didn't know that we knew each other. Joey, you guys know who Joey My Slice of Heaven Outdoors is. He was one of the first channels together with Jeremy. One of the first channels I started watching. Geez, seems like forever ago, a couple of years ago. So I wanted to give you guys an update, guys. We are close. We're close. We were going to actually get it listed this weekend, but we weren't ready to list this house. And next week we'll be listing it, God willing, because we are done with our major projects, and now it's cleanup time, touch up and cleanup time, touching up the paint, fixing a fence, planting some bushes for all that good stuff. So canning more meat tomorrow, Amy. Wow, that's crazy. The question, Amy, if you guys are in the direct line of sight of that hurricane, do you guys use plywood and board up your windows? I mean, how close, or do you guys don't even think about how close? If you're anywhere close to that line of to that pathway, do you guys put up plywood? That just seems like it would be a given for something like that. So anyway, yeah, we'll be watching the news and thinking about you guys. So you guys stay safe down there. All right, so Joey is getting all excited. Did I buy the dozer? So anybody that saw my last video, I went and looked at a John Deere 350 crawler tractor, which is a dozer, a bulldozer. It had a blade. You know what? And you know what? Why don't I? I didn't even download. Oh, yes, I did. Duh. Let's see here. I'm still trying to figure out how to do all this. Oops. Let me do this here. So let's take a look at some pictures, guys. Let's look at some video. So here we go. I am going to share a screen. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't do it. Doggone it. Okay, here we go. So anybody, you guys that saw the video there, I know. Well, thank you, Brett, for what you do, and you are married to a very good man there. Our firefighters and police officers, our first responders, are heroes, and I support them 100% unequivocally. So thank you, Broussards, for what you guys do, and thank you, Brett, for what you do. Okay, so let's talk about this dozer. So Joey, you know what? I don't remember you. I remember you looking at dozers, and honestly, guys, Joey from My Slice of Heavens, I'm gonna shout you out, because Joey's dozer purchase, and he started talking about dozers, was the one that put the bug in my brain. I have been a dozer fanatic my whole life. I've loved anything with tracks. I got into cranes, all the crawler cranes out there. I ran a bunch of them, and they have tracks, and it's the funnest part of anything with the tracks is just crawling around, that clink, 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 clink with the tracks as they're moving. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about crawler tracked machines. I love them all, whether it's a crane or a dozer or a dump truck. They make crawler dump trucks, believe it or not. So I fell in love with that. And our road up there, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of, you guys stay tuned for some awesome video coming up here in the next couple of months. I'll get to that in a minute. The road that I have, it's a dirt road. It's a very basic, it's a fire road. And there are ruts in there that are 1.5 feet deep. And there's some mud holes that are 1.5 feet deep, rocks. I mean, it's a rough road. And this last summer, when we went up there in July, it was still cold and rainy, and there was mud like crazy. I had it in 4-wheel drive a couple times. I was slipping around. to get to our place. And we don't have a really big hill. Jeremy's been up to our place. He's seen it. So Jeremy, would you say that our road's pretty rough getting into? Jeremy had a pretty rough road till his awesome neighbor gave him a whole bunch of quarry rock stuff that he was able to lay down. But let's make sure I don't. Ryan, what's up, buddy? You know what, Ryan? You know what? I have tracked machine envy. Ryan. Ryan has something with tracks. Can I talk about it for a second, Ryan? Because what Ryan, yeah, it's been pretty bad. What Ryan Tremper is my other crane buddy from down here who just moved up there, and which I hate him for because he beat me to Idaho. But that's another story. We're coming. Let's go back to the main. So anyway, Joey's purchased with his dozer, and he got the loader crawler. And so I've been looking at him, and that dirt road I have, it's a half-mile long. My plan is to get a skid steer, a tracked skid steer, because I want to do tractor service. I want to do forestry mulching. I want to do snow blowing. And I was going to get a Kubota with the front hydraulics, have a blower on the front with a blade on the back. But in order to do that, and I have a really good, another YouTube channel. If you guys know Chris from Holly Ridge Homestead, he's actually a state sheriff or state trooper. I forget which. I think he's a sheriff. Anyway, he used to have a landscaping business with the tracked skid steer. And he said, if you're going to do actual commercial work for people, he goes, you need to get the skid steer because they're faster, more efficient, they're stronger, all that stuff. And now he has actually a John Deere tractor. He got rid of his landscaping business and he went into police work. And he's like, I miss my skid steer. So that was the plan, was to get one. However, as Ryan can attest, they're expensive. A good used one, at least one that's big enough to do the stuff I want to get. I mean, one with a couple thousand hours on it is still $35,000 to $40,000, which I don't have at the moment. The plan is to put a down payment on one and then make payments when I get my business going. However, that didn't do me any good for my Idaho house. I need to get that road in shape right now. Before I do anything, before we move up there, I have to get that road graded. I need to put a crown in the road, and I need to do drainage ditches on the sides. And then I need to put down some road bed cloth, and I need to put rock and gravel on that and spread it. That machine right there, I'm pointing to my other screen. You guys can't see it. That was dumb. That machine right there is going to do the trick. That has a 6-way blade. So they are super expensive. Hey, Michelle, thanks for coming in. So that's the plan, guys, is all this time I've been thinking, okay, do I break down and get a skid steer? Do I just settle for a tractor for now? What is it going to do? The skid steer would do the job, but it would take quite a bit longer. If I have a dozer with the blade, I have a 6-way blade, which means obviously up and down, that's 2 ways. And then you can angle it so that the blade, is an angle front to side, and then up and down like this. Now this way, as you're bringing the blade, you have this corner down here, right? And you're digging the trench along the side of the road. All you guys that have them, you guys don't need to explain it to you, but I need that for digging the trenches and then putting a crown in the road. So a 6-way blade is fabulous for doing a road. I should be able to have that road like in shape within 2 days or less. Everything that I looked at up there for renting, and I had a bunch of people, telling me like, dude, why are you buying a dozer down there? You could buy one up here. I've been looking at dozers. Joey, my slice of heaven, you can attest to this. How long did you guys look at dozers, and how far did you go to get your dozer? Up in the Pacific Northwest, we can make it into a kill dozer. Heck yeah. There's definitely, I could definitely put that to use, at least with one neighbor. Just kidding. We're on good terms now. He's my buddy. That's another story. Anyway, it's Jeremy. Jeremy started it. Way to go, Jeremy. You get me in trouble. So everything I looked at up there, for anything that was in decent shape and decent quality, in good shape, was $12,000, $14,000, $18,000. There was one guy in Washington. This is a great one, Jeremy. I just saw this today after we talked this week. There was a dozer I was looking at up there. It was an International Harvester, like a 74, and the guy was selling it. It was in great shape, had the 6-way blade, and he was selling it with a complete chassis, which means the engine, the tranny, and the transaxle as spare parts. He was asking $8,000. They don't make International Harvesters anymore, so you can't buy parts for them. The only parts you can find are the ones that are in the junkyards. Seriously, you might be able to find an air filter, oil filters, whatever, but you can't buy, really much of anything for those things. So I was looking at that, and I thought about maybe I'd talk him down to, maybe I'd give him $6,000 for it. It'd be nice having the extra parts on hand. Blah 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 blah. And I hemmed and hawed, right? But everything else I was looking at was $12,000 to $20,000 for an old dozer, and I want something small that I can haul on my own trailer. My trailer is good for 18,000 pounds. My truck is only good for about 11 to 12,000 pounds. So those parameters with the size of the dozer and its capabilities and still be a dependable dozer, I was looking at some of these 350s and the $10,000, $10,000 to $15,000 range. I'm like, I just don't have the cash. I don't have it. This dozer popped up and he was asking, I'll tell you guys, $6,500. I didn't talk about it in the video if you guys saw the video. $6,500. You're right. And everything's expensive up there right now, up in Idaho. There's a bunch of dozers because the logging industry up there has been, hit hard over the last 30, 40 years. So there's a lot of good old dozers up there for sale, but guys are still getting great money for them. These old machines, they don't lose much value. This is a little mom. If you guys look at that picture, you can kind of see in the background on, I don't know if you guys can see my little pointer arrow. It's not very big. Hey, how do I make my pointer arrow big?
You have to go to your settings.
Oh, I gotta go to the settings. Okay, never mind.
I made it big.
So if you guys can see on the rear left, there's a green. It's a John. There's actually on the right hand side of there's a John Deere underneath a tree, and on the left there's a piece of a John Deere. The guy buys and sells used John Deere farm equipment down there in El Centro. He's down there in the farm country in California. And he fixes it up and sells it. He buys stuff at auction, and he's just one guy. He's a used equipment dealer. And you think it's hot up here, man? It was hotter than anything down there, hotter than Satan's butt. 100% humidity was 110 while I was down there looking at this thing. We were dripping in sweat just standing in the shade. Anyway, he came across this dozer who it spent most of its life in an orange grove, so it didn't see any heavy-duty construction work. It just was pushing dirt between the orange trees its whole life. So, hey, Heather popped in. Cosby Can Farms. Howdy. Awesome. There's one of our new YouTube friends from Idaho. She is fantastic. You guys don't know who Heather is from Cosby Can Farms. You guys got to go subscribe. She has an awesome channel. She is, I'm just going to say it, she's badass. She's doing a lot of stuff on her own. She's cutting wood. She's sawing lumber. She's building her own house. She's got a skid steer. I'm jealous of Heather because she has a skid steer. So Ryan and Heather both have skid steers. I have major skid steer envy. But hopefully this is going to give you guys dozer envy. So this dozer was $6,500 and it was covered in white. It looked like a bunch of white paint overspray. So I asked the lady, I was talking to the lady, say, I'm very interested. I was going to detail it myself and maybe repaint it, whatever. And she said, well, he's gonna power wash the thing off. It's okay, cool. So I'll send you some updated pictures. This was the updated picture. That thing cleaned up nice. The paint's in great. It's original paint. It's all in good shape. I couldn't believe how good a shape it was. Whatever the white stuff was overspray from fertilizer, or not. Well, it couldn't have been fertilizer. It would have rusted away. Some sort of spray or bug spray or something they were using down there in the orange groves, and it cleaned up nice. It just all washed off. So I went down there and I looked at it. Like I said, he was asking 65, little tiny white like. You're asking Heather about hers. You know what, Michelle, the one that Gil was driving around in, that wasn't that small. That's a pretty good size one. Anyway, I went down there and looked at this machine, and the first start, he turned the key and hit the start button, and it fired up right away. And the thing purred. The thing just rumbled to life, and it sounded fantastic. It has got a good muffler on it. It's all there. It's all complete. Let me see if I can show you guys another picture. There's another back picture of the back. That's the back rippers. So I had a couple of guys. I've already sent these pictures to some friends like Ryan and Jeremy. I sent them to a couple other guys that are dozer hands. I sent them to who else? He's an old dozer hand, and he picked up right away that on the back right there the cylinders weren't hooked up. It's just chained up. Now a lot of guys will chain up those rear rippers because the back cylinders will bleed off a little bit, and that thing will be sit on the ground. You'll start ripping ground that you don't want to rip, so they'll chain them up even when they're hooked up. But the cylinders are actually disconnected from it, and so I was a little. I wasn't concerned about it because if the rest of the dozer is fine, to me the ripper is just an extra add-on. All right, so that was the back of the dozer. Oops, that's my video. So here's a good side view, and it's got the rollover protection, the original cage that's on the thing. It's in great shape. It ran. I drove it. I spun that thing around. The right-hand clutch needs to be adjusted a little bit tighter. Because I pulled back on it and it would turn to the right a little bit, but the left would definitely jerk to the right. The right hand was just a little bit hesitant, so it needs to be adjusted, which is really common on these old dozers. The undercarriage is the most expensive part. The pads were in great shape. The little risers, what they call grousers, they're worn down quite a bit, but they're not zero. And I can actually weld on new stock bar on there and build the grousers back up. So the thing was in great shape. It ran great. The hydraulics all worked great until you saw in the video. If anybody saw the video, I was playing with the tilt, and one of those hoses blew. So as I was playing with that, and then the guy said, "Well, tell you what," he goes, "You take it for $5,500, and you can repair that hose." He goes, or I can repair all the hoses for $1,000. I'm like, I'm like, now he's talking more my price. I mean, I love Craigslist. I love all that stuff. Chicken poop, yeah, but it was pure white, Heather. It was like paint. It looked like white paint. So, and chicken poop would have been very, very corrosive to the paint. It wasn't corrosive. It washed right off like it was some sort of a powder. That's all it was. So, would Gil have parts? I'm getting there, Michelle. I'm getting there. I'm finishing the story here. We're almost to the end. So he said, take it for $5,500, or I can do all the hoses. And in the back, there are 6 hoses. There's 2 for each cylinder, and then there's 2 for the main block. So there's 6 in the back. And in the front, there's 6 in the front as well. And they're long. And all the hoses, if you look at this picture, go to this panel that right here on the side. It says JD350 on the side right here. Right there on that side, is where all the hoses meet, and there's where the controls are. And so you have to take the seat off. You got to take these boxes off. The time it would have taken for me to take all the side boxes off and the seat off, and I would have had to power wash the crap out of it. It's 50 years old. I think it's a 1970. And all the grime and the goo and stuff that's built up around all those valves, it all needs to be steam cleaned off and given a really good bath. And then you got all the hydraulic fluid. You start taking off hoses, hydraulic fluid's going everywhere. And so he offered to do all the hoses because he actually, he has a machine, because he repairs all that machinery and then he sends it and he sells it. So he's got all the John Deere, and mainly John Deere stuff. He's got all the John Deere fittings, all the hose, all that stuff. So he said he'd do it for $1,000, and I'm like, okay, all right. I sounded a little more optimistic about it. And so I hemmed and hawed a little bit and played the game. He's like, tell you what, five grand, that's the lowest. Take it for $5,000 and you can have it. I said, okay, you know what? You got a deal. I'll take this thing for $5,000. So that was the thing was in great shape, guys. I couldn't turn it down. There were no leaks in the engine. There were no leaks underneath the chassis from the transmission. The transaxles in the back were not leaking. And those are big deals. If you've got leaks in those areas, those are problems, because on this machine, you've got to separate the back half of the machine from the front half of the machine in order to get to the transmission or whatnot. So traction in good shape, everything is good shape. I just got the hose replaced. So I made a deal, gave him a $500 deposit. We signed a paperwork, gave me a bill of sale for the deposit. And I asked him, how long could I leave it there? And he's like, well, you can leave it here for a week or two. If you want to pay me in full, you can leave it here forever. And I said, okay, well, I can definitely be back in a this weekend and pick the thing up. This last Thursday I went down. I can come up this next Saturday or Sunday and pick it up. I'll call you and let you know. He's like, all right, no problem. Nice guy. I drove away and I started really thinking about it, thinking about all the logistics of getting the hoses. Because you can go to Napa and have hoses done. And I had already talked to guys like Joey. Joey's mentioned hoses. A bunch of different channels I've been watching on these things had mentioned hoses and how expensive they were. And they're not hard to do if you got the right tools for it. You got to crimp on the ends and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what, $1,000. That's not worth my time to not pay that, because it's going to probably cost me probably a solid $500, $600, maybe $700 just in the hoses. And then I got to buy the hydraulic fluid, and then I've got to steam clean the thing, and then I've got my time. And right now we're trying to get this house together for sale, and once we sell it, I'll have enough money to pay for whatever I need to on this thing. I called the guy back, said, do the hoses. He's okay, we'll start it tomorrow. So there you go, guys. $6,000 is the final bill on this thing, and I'm gonna have my dozer. And so now here's the schedule. Oh, thanks, honey. Yeah, I think so. That's probably all it was, because it came right off. So I did buy it, Michelle. I did, and yes, I feel like a little kid in a toy house. I have always wanted a dozer. There's up near Ryan. There's an old John Deere, like a 1930s, 1940s John Deere, like a 40 dozer for sale. And the guy's asking $39.95 for it, $4,000, and thing's beautiful shape. Any of you guys have seen my dozer video from last year? There's a guy on the way to Idaho that we passed by, and he's an old dozer, an old farm guy that collects old dozers, International Harvesters, Case, John Deere, Caterpillar. I mean, we're talking the 20s and 30s stuff, and he's got them all lined up out there. So if you guys haven't seen that video, go check out that video. It's on my list. It's called Dozer Heaven. And there's some, he has a beautiful John Deere that's completely restored. He stripped it down. He painted it with the original John Deere green and yellow. It's got the little Springer seat on the back. And the thing is, his grandson drives it around the yard. It runs like a top. And I saw that. And Olivia will attest, when we went driving by that place, I literally about broke my neck going, what the, whoa. I had a trailer on the back of the Explorer. Honey, we got to go back. I don't care if it makes us a day late going home. We got to go back. I got to go see that place. And she's like, okay. I did a U-turn on a country road and went back to that guy's place. He has them all lined up at his fence facing the highway. And the guy was nice enough to come out and talk to me. The guy was a neat old guy. And I said, hey, do you buy and sell these things? He goes, nope. I just collect them, restore them, and collect them. They're just a kind of a hobby of mine. I'm like, wow. He's got dozens and dozens of those things. He probably has 40 or 50 dozers sitting over there. So anyway, if you guys are interested, if you guys like dozers as much as I do, you guys will enjoy that video. But we went back and did some more video of it the next summer, and we went up there again. So now this is the plan with my work schedule. I plan on going Jeremy. I plan on going to Jeremy at Living the Dream Homestead and grading his road for him. The next break I get in at work it'll be probably in, I don't know, 4 to 8 weeks or so. If we get this place, hopefully this house will sell in the next 30 days or so. We're going to list it this next weekend. I believe we'll be ready to list it by this next weekend. And and if things sell as fast as they are down here, we'll have this place sold. We'll be in escrow, and we'll be moving out to our rental next month. And so work will continue on until the next break. And I plan on picking, well, I'll have to pick this thing up the next week or two whenever it's ready. I plan on taking this thing up there to our place in Idaho, and I'll have about a week to 2 weeks break, and I plan on getting that road in shape. So I have an 18-foot dump trailer, guys. So I plan on hauling my own rock. There's a place right there in Priest River to serve yourself. They have a loader on site, and they just give you the keys to the loader, and you just mark off how many loads of gravel you take, and then you pay them, and it's the cheapest rock around, and it's literally 10 minutes from my house. Maybe 15. No, it's because it's 10 minutes to town, and it's 5 minutes. It's not even 5 minutes out of town. So not even 12 minutes, half an hour round trip at the most to go get loaded up and back with some more rocks. So that's the plan, is being up there. And my neighbors, I've already let them know. They're super excited because they are dying to have that road fixed. They have never been able to afford to fix the road themselves. So I will be filming every minute of that. In fact, I'll probably go live a couple times and share that with you guys. It's exciting. And it's bought and paid for. That's the beautiful part of it. So, this was the whole thing. I can still buy parts for it. I can, matter of fact, I was just on Amazon. Oops. What am I looking for? John Deere 350 dozer parts. What's amazing is that John Deere 350 dozer parts still available on Amazon. It's insane. I'm about to pull the trigger and buy the manual. I'm going to buy, there's a company that does a digital version. I'm sorry, it's a printed version, but they digitized it and they've cleaned it up because the manuals are old. The parts manual, the service manual, and the owner's manual, operator's manual. So all three of those for $100. You can't go wrong. So you know what, Jeremy, I won't go live while I'm at the place itself. I'm talking about as I'm driving up there, when I go down and load this sucker up. It's going to be, I've never loaded a dozer on a trailer before, but I'm about to learn. I found a guy that has some 8-foot equipment ramps for the back of a trailer, and he had the same tray that I did, and he needed to load his little skid steer in the back, and they're massive. They're heavy duty. They're like 100 pounds a piece. They're really heavy duty. And I'm gonna get those suckers put up and load this dozer on there, and I'll be coming your way. So that is the right off the 53. No, Ryan. So in that video, I asked everybody if anybody knows where the place is at to leave a comment. I am going to, where's my updates saved places? Here we go. Here's my favorites. Not that place. Starred places. Here we go. Rock tank. Let me find the freeway that thing is. Oh God, where is that guy? Where is that thing? Starred places, want to go, favorites. Let me find this place. Hold on 1 second here. No, it's not Messi's Burger. He's definitely one of my favorite places. All right, well, here we go. I'll just zoom out. It is off the 97. It's in I thought it was northeast. It's actually north central Oregon, Ryan. It's off the 97, just south of the 84. You know what, Ryan? Somebody else said that about that guy. There's another guy that has a bunch of old okay, so these are old tractors. This guy specifically dozers. That's all he has lined up. Now in the back behind his house, he's got a bunch of old tractors as well. But almost all of it is just dozers. That's what you see. Ryan, when you get a chance, go to my video list on my channel, and you can see really quick. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but you can go check out and you'll see where it's at. But it's right off of he's on Highway 97, and it's really close to Biggs Junction in the 84, north central Oregon. Anyway, you enjoy that guy. The guy's amazing. So that's the whole deal. Hi, sweetie. How are you? She's a little neighbor kid. They love our dog. She's like, what is he doing? I'm talking to people. Anyway, this dozer you can still buy parts for. I found a place you can buy the pads for $20 a piece if I need to buy pads. You can just buy whatever you want. You can go to John Deere and you can buy stuff for it. Clutch packs, I can buy the whole clutch pack on Amazon for they had one kit for $507 and they had a bigger kit for $800, but I can buy that directly from Amazon. So, and then hoses and seals. John Deere is just a good quality machine. The people I've talked to that have operated dozers, Matter of fact, Gil from Camp Patton Family Compound, he said that he has ran this dozer specifically, John Deere 350s, 350Bs, 350Cs, 450s, all of them, because he was a heavy equipment operator. He said they're a lot of fun, and it was easy to run. It was a lot of fun. So easy to run, easy to work on. Everything is right there. It was just a really well-made machine. There was only one part to that machine that I saw any reviews about, that people were saying, hey, watch out for this this little particular thing. And it's where the transmission bolts onto the back of the engine. There's some bolts, some nuts right there. So if those nuts start to work themselves loose, then the reverser for reverse gear is it's a direct drive. There's a spline that goes into a fitting, and if those bolts start to loosen up a little bit, that spline can start to move around, and it can hollow out or wear off the splines. Everything I saw was tight. So that was the only thing that I saw on this machine that people said to watch out for. So blocks or braces. Thank you, Ryan, for that. That is an excellent idea. I've got some heavy equipment, some heavy duty jack stands that are like for I mean, they're big monsters. I believe I'll take those with me. Thank you for that little hint. That's a good good hint. That machine is rated at 7895 pounds, 8,000 pounds. Plus the blade in the front is 1,300 pounds, and then the rear ripper in the back is probably with the hydraulics and stuff, I'll bet you maybe 500 pounds. So that machine altogether with everything is probably pushing close to 10,000 pounds. So the trailer I got is definitely heavy duty enough for it. So, oh, you know the place, Ryan. Okay, so you know who I'm talking about then. Have you ever stopped there and talked to that guy? He's a needle guy. So I've never been off the 53 that I can recall. So good night, Jeremy. Thank you for coming in. Alan's in the house. Alan. So Olivia said she was going to see if anybody noticed. Those of you that were in my live stream a couple of weeks ago, nobody. And since Alan's in the house, Alan's my best friend. Turn on the lights, will you, honey? Thank you. Nobody's noticed our kitchen back there. If you guys were in my live stream a couple weeks ago, I missed the last two. Actually, so that'd be 3 weeks. That kitchen was all brown cabinets. We tore out all the cabinets to put a brand new kitchen in. And Alan was well, I was his right-hand man. I wouldn't call myself his right hand. I was his right-hand man because he was the one leading the charge on it. So we ripped out the whole kitchen, brand new tile on the floor, brand new walls, black splash, brand new cabinets, can lights, switches in the walls, all that stuff. We replaced all of it and put a brand new kitchen in. So hopefully that is what's going to help this house sell like crazy and sell fast. Because all you ladies out there know, the first thing you look at is a kitchen. And this kitchen is brand new. So anyway, jack stands will work good. Awesome. Isn't it after you get through the mountainous part of the 97 on the left side of the highway when going southish? You know what, Darlene? You are right. Ding, ding, ding. That you are exactly right. And it's about 10 miles south of the 84, right? It's about 10 miles south on the 97, 10 miles south of the 84. Yes. And for whatever reason, I remembered it when we were going home, being on the left-hand side. And yes, it is on the left-hand side going on going south. I don't remember passing it on the 97 going north, and maybe because we went a different way when we went north. But when we came home, it was on the left-hand side. So yes. So your skid steer weighs 8,000 pounds. Yeah, you got a good skid steer, Ryan. Okay, Alan. Alan's going to stop by and pick up his multimeter. He left his multimeter here. Yeah, you know what, Ryan? That guy is super cool. If you ever get a chance.
Hi, everyone.
She's going to go for a ride, go get some exercise. I've been working my butt off the last 2 weeks on this kitchen. I've been just my back is just killing me. You know, I'm going to have to check out that route, Ryan. I think we looked at that route one time. No, I have an F350, a diesel F350. It's a 1-ton, Michelle, and I have a gooseneck trailer. So the gross vehicle weight rating on that truck with a single rear axle, the dualies can take more. The single rear axle is 24,000 pounds. With a gooseneck trailer, if it's a bumper pull, you can't do that much. You can only do, I think it's 18, I think, or is it 9, or is it 21? Maybe it's 21. You get like 3,000 more pounds, I think, when you go over the rear axle. So it's a gooseneck trailer goes in there, 24,000 pounds. The truck weighs 7. The trailer weighs 6. So that's 13 from 24 gives me 11,000 pounds of payload per California Highway Patrol. California Department of Transportation, legally 11,000 pounds. Up in Idaho, however, you can pay for more capacity, which I did because my truck is registered in Idaho. So it's going to be interesting to see if when I pick this thing up, if I get pulled over, if I have to go through scales or anything. Is I'm not a commercial driver. Well, I am a commercial driver. I have my Class A license because I drive cranes, right? So it'll be interesting to see if I get pulled over, what happens. Hopefully it's going to be a slap on the hand to say, okay, till I get to Idaho, and then I'll be fine. So there you go. So I'm going to pull up my F350. It's got the capacity. It's a diesel. It'll be fine. So anyway, yeah, Darlene, that is fantastic. Spacious empty. Yeah, we did. We opened it up because right here, we used to have a great big pantry, and it came out quite a ways. And so it looked quite a bit more closed right here. But Alan's in the house. Oh, hey, come on in. So
I'm here to pick up that multimeter.
It's right over there on the.
Cool. Hey guys, I don't ever get to see.
There's Alan.
Myself in here.
So there's Alan. He's always in the live stream.
Yeah, we fixed the air conditioner, didn't we?
Yeah, we fixed the air conditioner yesterday.
That
so
was a hot up
this humidity has been absolute hell down here. So.
Marty doggy, yeah.
Cool, good timing.
All right, well, hey, I gotta get going.
All right, thanks
for
for
another air conditioner.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Make that money.
Yeah. All right.
You got to make up for the discounts you've been giving me.
All right.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
That's my best friend, guys. We've been friends for 25 years, and he didn't even charge me probably half of what he would charge to help me with this kitchen. He's just amazing. What a great friend. He's been such a big help. And then our air conditioner went out, and he came over and had a capacitor, and we changed it, and that wasn't enough, and we had to change the motor yesterday, and he found the motor on a Saturday, and now we have air conditioning. Thank God, because it was bad. You don't want to show a house with no air conditioning. So anyway. You know what? Hey, L Fords, thanks for popping in. You know what? That's a great idea, Ryan. You know, you are good to know. You got great advice. Thank you for that, Ryan. Not for hire. That's a great idea. I'll have Olivia make some, put them on some magnets and stick, or at least some removable stickers, like you say. The smoke's been pretty bad. It's so hazy down here, L Fords, all the time. It's been horrible. Hey, TNS. Yeah, you guys are probably getting a ton of smoke up there up in the high desert, aren't you? All that smoke is coming off the mountains and going right up into the high desert where TNS dogs and dragonflies is. So you guys are getting hammered up there. Well, Michelle, I am a trucker, so I know where the scales are, and there's not going to be any way to avoid some scales depending on which way I go. So I do know where a lot of the scales are. It's the ones that the places where I haven't been. And I do have a CB radio, so maybe I need to get on the CB radio and ask around. That's a great idea. Yeah, all the smoke from California has been going over there to Arizona and Nevada. It's been really bad all across. They were saying that all 3 states have just been covered in smoke. There's something like 300 fires in California, they said. Most of them are caused by lightning strike. They said like something like 11,000 lightning strikes this last week, starting most of these fires, which doesn't surprise me. I just wonder. I know, our governor Screwsome says that it's climate change. If you don't think there's climate change, come to California. I'm thinking, no, Governor Screwsome you and all of your cronies and all of your liberal lefties are persecuting the Christian churches here in California. That's another little side story. There was a pastor at Calvary Chapel in Downey or Signal Hill, Long Beach or Downey, one of those places right there, that was being threatened with arrest today on a Sunday. There's a church up in Ventura that was being served by Ventura County with multiple cease and desist orders, and they were going to get cited. They were already cited. They went to court. A federal judge ruled in their favor and said they cannot prohibit the church from meeting and worshiping and meeting on Sundays. And the county said, we're still going to go after them. We're going to continue to harass them. The church we go to is open. Any of you guys that follow me on Instagram, I post almost every Sunday the stuff that's going on at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills with Pastor Jack Hibbs. It's signs of the times, guys, when the church in America is being persecuted and Christians are being persecuted. You know that those are signs of the times. It's just crazy. So anyway, Cindy Brown, hey, thank you. Oh, Carpentry is our favorite camping place of all time to camp at the beach. That is fantastic. Yeah, it's interesting, Patty. You guys haven't had a lot of fires up there. We've just got a ton of them down here. I think there's a lot of people that believe that, you know, God's just getting tired of the persecution and the immorality that's happening here in California. I mean, it's just insane. So let's see here. Michael Holland, thanks for popping in, brother. So that is the story, guys. I bought the Dozer. It is in great shape. Cannot wait to go pick that sucker up. And when I do, oops, what did I do here? Let me get that. I messed that up somehow. Close that page. I'm looking at my second screen here and I can't figure out how to close that page. Oh, well, okay. Well, it is what it is. Let me go here. There we go. All right, there we go. It's hard to watch the comments on here. Tim, what's going on, man? You know what, Tim? It's a great question. I don't know. I was talking to Ryan here, who is a fellow crane operator, Class A truck driver like myself, and that's a good question. I actually plan on calling the CHP, California Highway Patrol, and I'm going to ask them and tell them what's going on. And I'm not going to tell them who I am, but I'm going to tell them what's going on and say, this is what I got. What do I need to do? It's just a personal for my farm, for my homestead. Do I have to go across scales with this and see what they have to say? Because I know that I'm legal with the weights, so I don't think I will have to. And like Ryan was telling me, get some of those stickers for the size of my truck saying not for hire. That way they know it's not a commercial truck, and I should be fine. So we'll see. Stay tuned, Tim, because I'm going to be live streaming that stuff, or at least videotaping it. Videotaping. I keep saying taping, video recording, and I'll put that video up so you guys can see that. So it's going to be an adventure, that's for sure. So Tim, you'll have to go back to the front to the beginning, unless you've been here since the beginning of the live stream night, and listen to the story. It's I bought the Dozer. It was a great deal. I couldn't pass it up. This Dozer, just so you guys know, I could turn around right now with the hoses. I could probably turn around and sell it for 10 grand, easy. In as good a shape and the way it runs, and with new hoses on it. So I think it was you know, Alan. Oh, you must be watching on your phone while you're driving, Alan, because I know you just left. Everybody, you just. So that's Alan brings up a good point. Who was I talking to recently about that? I was just talking to somebody. Oh, I know who it was. The guy that I bought my ramps from. He was a guy that actually does landscaping and demolition at his house, or out of his house. For his, that's what he is. He's a general contractor, and he's got a bunch of skid steers, and he's got 3 dump trailers. And each of these dump trailers came with equipment ramps, but he only has one piece of equipment, 1 skid steer. I remember 3 dump trailers and 1 skid steer. So he needs 1 set of ramps. So he was selling the extra sets for $200. They're $350 from the dealership, brand new. So for 200 bucks, I was going to make them myself, and I couldn't buy the iron for heavy duty ramps like that for probably less than 200 bucks. So I said, these are done, ready to go. I went, I had a good chat. He talked to me forever, and he was telling me, he actually went. Now check this out, Tim, and Alan. Oh, Ryan, good. Oh, you got to take off. Okay, Ryan, when you go, after you go, I'll send you this message, and this is what that guy with the ramps told me, and I'll tell you the story and get your opinion on this as well, get your input. Hey, Nearaway, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. So this guy was telling me down here in California, he had a Ford diesel truck, a crew cab, with one of those boxes on the back, with one of those toolbox. What do you guys call that? Like a flatbed with the toolboxes on there. Anyway, a tool bed. And that is obviously a commercial truck, right? Unless you have it for yourself, but it's still considered a commercial truck. If you have the regular bed from the factory on there, it's not looked at as a commercial truck. So he was pulling his dump trailer to the dump because he does demolition all the time. He takes out kitchens and driveways and excuse me. And he was going to the dump, and at the dump all the time is the sheriff. Let me drink something real quick. I'm sorry. It's a code enforcement from the local police department or the highway patrol. And he pulled up with his dump trailer with his box truck. And the guy didn't give him a ticket or anything, but he said, hey, if you are a commercial truck, you're obviously doing this for a commercial business. You have to have X, Y, and Z, and we can weigh you. And if you're overweight, you can get a ticket. Actually, I think he said he did get a ticket the first time, $1,000 ticket for being overweight. And so I guess it's for every pound. It's like $100 for every pound or something ridiculous overweight. And so luckily he wasn't that overweight, so it wasn't really that bad. So he said the guy said, well, but I don't have my name. He didn't have his name of his company on the side of his truck or anything. He goes, yeah, he doesn't. He goes, doesn't matter. What gave it away was your box truck. Because if you had pulled up in just a regular pickup truck, we wouldn't have looked at you twice because we consider that a private. We think most of those people are private guys, which a lot of them are. So what did he do? He went down and bought a good used Chevy diesel truck just with a regular bed on it so he can tow his dump trailer. And he's constantly loading that. And he saw guys cruising by him all day long with regular beds on their trucks with no toolboxes on the back and not getting harassed. Kathy's in the house. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, utility bed. Thank you, Tim. I don't know, my brain farted there. Yeah, you know what, Heather, you're right. So if you have the logo on your truck, they know right away you're a business, you're a commercial driver, and they're going to hit you up if you're overweight. And I know why. I understand why. Because those guys are doing it on a daily basis. They're the ones that are putting the most wear and tear on the roads, blah, 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 blah. But it's legit. Those guys are driving the roads, and especially the guys that are skirting the scales, and they're overloading their vehicles, and those guys get in accidents and destroy people's lives. I've seen it time and time again. So they're really hard on those guys and trying to stop the people that are denying the law, violating the law like that all the time. So if you don't have your logo on your truck, and if you don't have a utility bed on the back of your truck, just a regular truck, they don't usually look at you. You might get pulled over and they might ask you, like, no, it's just my own personal dump trailer. So so there we go. There's the whole scenario, Tim and Heather and everybody else there. That's the whole scenario. So we have the mod master in the house. Tell me about it. Although I know that I have lost over 5 pounds by doing this kitchen in the last 2 weeks because I've been sweating my butt off and working hard. I've been going to bed really sore every night. So yeah, that'd be cool, Heather. You have our phone number. You have my email. So if he's got any extra input there on that, I would love to hear it. So if anybody has any information that can help me out there, I would love to hear it. Because I plan on picking that dozer up. As soon as he's done with it, I'm going to go pick that sucker up. You're right, Patty. Oh, you know what, Alan? That's really interesting that you say that. I remember I've been through the scales a bunch of times when I driving cranes, and you're right. When you go to the scales, it says no pickups. Huh. Oh, okay. Kathy, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. We'll keep your mom in prayer. I've been meaning to ask. You had asked for prayer for your friend that had the throat tumor a while back, and I was praying for a long time for that. I've been meaning to reach out and see how your friend is doing. So anyway, thank you, Kathy. Yeah, it's done. It's just about done. I got to finish up some trim right along this top edge up here. Actually, that side's already done. It's the other side over here. I got to do that trim. Everything's backwards when you look at yourself in the video there. So that's the story, guys. Bought the dozer. I can't wait to go pick it up. As soon as I do, I will go. I'll probably go live when I go to pick that sucker up. Olivia's probably going to be with me, and I'll have her live stream the event, and you guys can watch me load it on the trailer. My trailer's about 3 feet off the ground. I have never loaded. Oh, I take that back. I have driven cranes onto big all-terrain cranes. I've driven those onto trailers before, so I have loaded equipment before, but just not a lot. It's sketchy until you do it a bunch of times. So, Brandon Baxter, what's up? That's my nephew. How you doing, brother? Hey, Brandon, how did you like today's service, huh? Pastor Jack Hibbs was killing it today. We were going to, that's my nephew. He was at church with us today over there at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills. Jack Hibbs was rocking it. You guys want to hear a good message, man. The last few weeks, man, that guy's been on fire. You guys can go back and watch he has a YouTube channel, Jack Hibbs. You guys want to know what's happening now with Bible prophecy and what's happening in the world right now? Pastor Jack Hibbs and his Wednesday night, what's happening now are just fantastic. We're so close, guys. I still don't think we're going to make it to Idaho. I really don't. I really think that the rapture of the church is going to happen any day. I think we're that close. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother live stream. So anyway, yeah. So Ryan has a tracked skid steer, which is going to be the next purchase. So at least with this, yeah, right, Brandon? It was awesome. With this dozer, I will be able to get our road into shape, get the rocks spread out, and get that place ready to go. We can't move up there. I can't drive. I'm going to have a big trailer, right? My own trailer, but we're going to need that plus a 28-foot U-Haul trailer to haul all of our stuff. There is no way I'm going to be able to take a box truck up that dirt road with the ruts and the big mud holes. There's no way. I'd destroy the truck. So I've got to get the first thing I got to do is get the road in shape. Once that's done, then Alan's going to go up there and we're going to put new floors in and a new kitchen. And I'm going to get the carpet changed, and then it's going to be ready. And Olivia and I will be moving up there next spring. So now I don't have to wait till the snow melts. I can go up there in the next couple of months before the rain and the snow hits and get that road fixed. So there's the plan, guys. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. That's the story. Thanks for sharing in the excitement. Dozer love is in the air. I'm just super. Gil came in. What's up, Gil? How you doing? There's my brother from another mother. Had a good conversation with Gil this week about that 350 dozer. So I already told Gil. So when I put that video out, you guys, should I buy it? I had already bought it. There's a little inside. I just wanted to hear what everybody had to say about it, but I had already decided. And I actually loaded up that video that night. It didn't finish loading until 11 o'clock, but then YouTube was having some sort of an issue, and it said processing. I woke up the next morning, and it was still processing. So I actually deleted it and reloaded the video, and it popped on right away. So, and I know Jeremy from Living the Dream Homestead, he had a bunch of problems with YouTube last Wednesday and Thursday as well. So, yeah, I was thinking about whether or not I was going to buy it or not. And then at the last minute, I'm like, yeah, I'll take that dozer for that price. So I had talked to Gil about it, and he's like, yeah, Gil drove a bunch of those things. Spent a lot of time on those things. It's a lot of fun. Gil, while I got you on here. Okay, Patty, you too. So everybody's been having problems with YouTube too. Who's Alan Banks? Oh, North Shore. Yeah, it's North Star. So Gil, on that 350, there are 2 reverses. There is the one on the left, which is forward and reverse. And then in the transmission, there's a forward and a reverse. Do I have to have the transmission that's right between your legs? Do you have to have that in reverse? Or no? No, you don't have to have that one in reverse. You can put that in first gear because there's 4 forward gears and 1 reverse gear. So in order to go in reverse, and there's no decelerator pedal on those things. So I left it in first so first, second, third, or fourth gear, and I go to first. I can go reverse or forward. So there are 4 reverse gears, but I thought there was only 4. So, yeah, YouTube. What did you say to me? Whose channel name is really messing you up, Kathy? I missed something. I guess I missed something that you said. Oh, here we go. I got you. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right, guys. That was Eli's friend, Donnie. He was the one with the throat tumor. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully he was a believer and he is in Jesus' arms right now. So your brother P has stage 4 liver cancer. Oh my goodness. Okay. You guys, let's keep Kathy's brother in prayer. That's rough. My mom died from breast cancer when I was 10 years old. So been there, done that. It's rough. Cancer is evil and horrible, and can't wait till God makes everything new. So that's a weird thing about YouTube. They stopped sending out email notifications. So when you said that to me, Gil, about YouTube sending out email notifications, I still get the notification on the top bar of my phone from the YouTube app. So to me, that was no big deal. That was no loss to me because I never go to my, it actually goes into my, not my spam folder. All the YouTube notifications go into my social folder on my Gmail. So that's the nice thing about Gmail is it differentiates us. It always put it to social. I never go there because if I have the app on my phone, I get the notification automatically. So, and I'm subscribed to all of you guys anyway. So I see in my suggested feed, my subscriptions feed, all of you guys' videos pop up. So anyway, let's see here. Yeah, me too, Patty. That's exactly what I was. That's exactly me too. It was never a big deal for me. But the social email was empty. Interesting, Gil. I'm kind of curious about that. But I know that the one lever on the left-hand side is what guys use forward and reverse when they're working. They're constantly going from forward to reverse. So I wonder if that's just the only one that people use. If when you're driving or traveling around, I don't know why you would ever want to use the reverse in the middle anyway. So interesting. Yeah. Oh, I got you, Gil, on your computer. Yeah, I was thinking about that as I was saying that. I was thinking my computer, I don't get the notification, but yeah. Yeah, right, Kathy. Yeah, YouTube stopped sending emails to your social inbox. Yeah, they stopped sending any email notification about people's emails. I cannot imagine how many emails go out every minute with all of the videos that are uploaded. 400 hours, or what's the latest statistic? 400 hours of video a day, or 400 hours of video every hour are uploaded to YouTube daily, or something ridiculous. Can you imagine how many email notifications go out for that? That has to free up some computer brain space. So, well, nobody else was late tonight, Gil. I'm just kidding. It's all right. Yeah, Tim. So Talk about a new treatment for cancer. My aunt, Ricky, my dad's sister, she was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma. She had a big section of her scalp, I mean, a big, like, softball-sized patch removed from the melanoma with some other spots around. But she had this big section she had taken, and then they sewed her scalp back together, and you can't even tell, actually. They did a really good job. But she was given 6 to 8 months to live. That was almost 3 years ago. That was 2.5 years ago. About 2 years ago, right when we bought our house in Idaho. 2 years ago. And so we were going to go up there because we had our log house and visit my aunt. You know, I was going to make an emergency trip up there just to go see her and say hi. And my Uncle Ernie's a pastor. They're saved. They're wonderful Christian people. We're not worried about where she's going to end up, but just to spend some little bit of time with her. And she is cancer free today. It is acute melanoma, something. People don't usually survive this. They did this new experimental treatment. It was an infusion, and it was supposed to be 6 to 8 infusions, a blood infusion of some sort of this, I don't know what it was, some sort of an infusion treatment. And the side effects were pretty brutal, though. I mean, it's really rough on your body, but it was an experimental treatment. She stopped after 2 treatments because the effects were so brutal. She is cancer free. She just went through her third 6-month screening, and she was cancer free. So whether you believe in God or not, that is an absolute miracle. It's a miracle of science that God has given people the ability and the knowledge to develop treatments and to discover treatments for this horrible disease, if not just an outright cleansing of her body of cancer by God. She's a sweetheart. My Uncle Ernie is fantastic. The guy's a riot. And for God to show his grace and allow her to stay and to heal her, to be by his side, is just absolutely a fantastic demonstration of God's grace. He doesn't do it to everybody. He does it to few, if anybody, that's frustrating. That's going to be a question we have for God, but God's will is perfect, right? So God's will is being done, whether we like it or not. And by his grace, my Aunt Ricky is still around for my Uncle Ernie and by his side. And it's fantastic. And it's just it's a testimony, and they give him thanks for every day because the breath that we own is not ours, right, guys? So anyway, there are fantastic treatments for cancer. We know lots of friends that have survived leukemia with the blood transfusions and all that stuff, and the bone marrow stuff, and been cured of leukemia. All kinds of fantastic advances and stuff, and everything good is from God. So anyway, so we will pray. We'll pray for your brother, Kathy. Good night, Kathy. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. We are not in control. That is correct, Tim. You are right. I love all the wisdom of all of you guys out there. I love chatting with you guys and talking about what's real. You know, this is just the Matrix. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I love that whole series. But it's so true, because when we get to heaven, when we step into the spirit world, when we step out of this life and time is no more for us, and when our eyes are open to what's really going on, it's just gonna, I can't wait. It's fantastic. You guys want some inspiration and some hope and some encouragement? I really encourage you guys to go look for Pastor Jack Hibbs at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills. And that guy is on fire. Just like my nephew was saying a few minutes ago, he had chills the whole time in today's service. And he's an inspiration. It's an open church. We're open in California at this church. No masks, no social distancing. There's big jugs of hand sanitizer everywhere, but we are not afraid that God is in control. It's fantastic. And we are defying the governor's unconstitutional orders against our First Amendment rights to assemble freely and worship. and it's fantastic. It's a battle. It's a spiritual battle happening, guys. That's what it is. So, guys, I'm gonna get back to getting this kitchen finished up tonight before I got to go back to work tomorrow morning. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming in and sharing this fantastic journey we have. In the next week, we're going to be listing the house next week. Stay tuned. We'll be showing the house. We'll be moving out next month into a rental for a few months until we're able to go up to Idaho. So stay tuned, guys. Pass it around, share it, spread the word. We're another family getting out of the city, out of this social dystopia hell down here. It's not hell, but it's bad. We're getting out of the city, guys, and it's coming real soon. It's happening almost faster than it can't happen fast enough. But then when we start thinking about what's coming up next, we start stressing out, going, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to move in a couple of weeks. We got to pick up all of this junk." And we've been getting rid of junk, believe me. So, guys, thanks for joining in tonight. Thanks for sharing my excitement with the Dozer, and that's gonna really advance us on accomplishing what we got to get done on the property up there when we move up there. So, stay tuned for that, and I'll get some more videos out this week, and I'll be following your guys' journey as well. I appreciate the time that you guys have taken to spend with me tonight. So, thank you so much. And guys, I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. I'm like, I don't know, where am I? I'm at 1940 or something, or 1930. So I'm really, really close. Thanks to you guys. The channel has grown because of what you guys are doing, and because of the interaction in the community you guys have helped to formulate here. So thank you so much for that. Have a good night, you guys. I will see you guys next week live, unless something crazy happens this week and I'll go live. But I will see you guys next week. Thanks again. Have a great week, and God bless.